Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video today we're going to have a massive battle report, not as big as the one we had recently for the big day, but still quite large, and it's going to be a narrative battle. Three sides are competing to liberate an admiral. We'll see a little bit later the scenario and how it's gonna play, but joining me today from left to right we have today
Zongo.
And what will you play, Zongo?
For world premiere I will be playing the Empire.
Yeah. New, not the Imperium, but the Empire.
Yeah.
Slight difference today.
Yeah.
And today we also have
Steve.
And what do you come with?
The Alliance.
The Alliance. Okay, we have to keep some bases stable.
Oh, yeah.
And we also have.
Finally, Hafner, and as usual, I play the Imperium.
Yeah, we still have some stable things. So I will be playing Union today. And that is going to be quite interesting. We're gonna have the Empire on its own, the Union on its own, and an alliance between the Alliance and the Imperium.
Yeah.
So it will be a direct consequence of the big day massive battle. If you haven't seen this battle report, I recommend you have a look now. We will introduce the scenario and the fleets, but before that, remember that if you give us a comment, you can win either a massive Alliance fleet or an even larger Crown battle force for our winter contest. Give us also a thumbs like, it really helps. And without further ado, let's have a look at the scenario and the fleets. And here is going to be the table for today's game. We play again at Majestic's Game, so thanks to them for hosting us and keeping us there. If you are in Paris, go there. They have a lot of things, including Dystopian Wars, for sale. What do we have? We have this massive table. There is going to be this, which should catch your attention. This is a Windsor Citadel. And this scenario is that those are pirates and they rescued during the battle at the big day, captured the Admiral Salazar from the Alliance that had been captured by the Task Force Mordred a while ago. They brought him here and they want to get some money for him. However, what they did not expect is that all the forces, knowing this, converged. The Alliance got the information during the big day battle by attacking a Task Force Mordred base that the Admiral was here, so they are going to try to rescue. Also, those Imperium that helped the Alliance during the big day assault on the Citadel Omega are going to try to support. And their objective will be to board this Windsor, extract the Admiral Salazar, and leave the table. The Empire will come here after winning the battle for the Citadel Omega. So they are here to secure the territory around the Citadel Omega. They are here to hunt the survivors of the Alliance and the Imperium, and they will also fight against the Union of the Task Force Mordred for control of the islands a little bit further from the Citadel Omega. And finally, the Union of the Task Force Mordred is coming to try to get back the Admiral that they captured a while ago and to evacuate him probably to the United States so he can be interrogated a little bit further. We also have those pirates. So this Citadel Windsor, this is an old model, will shoot at the end of each turn, so first turn, etc. And they will shoot one time at each of the faction in presence. So that is going to be quite difficult. They will keep shooting until there is a successful boarding against them. And there is also a little civilian fleet. Those are pirates. When they saw the Task Force Mordred coming, they started to run away. Their objective will be to get to this ship in anchor. And if they do reach this massive Mars that they had captured a while ago, the pirates will be able to shoot also with the Mars. That is the scenario. Let's now have a look at the faction that will fight for this battle. And to begin, those that come to rescue Admiral Salazar, here is the French fleet, this beautiful French painted by Steve. So Steve, what did you bring today?
So today I bring two battle fleet with one with Levant battle fleet with a Phoenix and a Volière, and a massive Alliance battle fleet frontline avec Magenta with a Furieux attached and 3 Furieux. Because I wanted so much to trying this, and
He was like, I need to board something? Okay, 4 Furieux.
And for the first, a unit of the Les Ratons Laveurs.
The Raton Laveur! We still don't know why it's called like this, but okay. There is the Raton Laveur, and they're quite powerful. The base is the Loire, right?
Yep. but it's built like
yeah.
Charlemagne, but
No, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine.
The power of imagination.
Yes. We play proxy here apparently. Ah, bravo.
So we have Aramis, Athos, and Porthos.
Oh, the three Mousquetaires. Here they are. So the main target is going to be Aramis, this beautiful men of that. Okay, so a lot of speed there. He will probably try to rush to get aerial very fast, and 3 Furieux boarding. I think even the Windsor has no chance of surviving that. Now let's have a look for the Imperium. Okay, so the Imperium.
Hello, today, first thing, my favorite battleship, the Ice Maiden, with his little SRS.
Yeah, just a few SRS.
Yeah, just a few, and 5 escort here. Yeah. Here we have 1 butcher, in order to support here this massive battleship here, and with 4 little escorts. But on the other side here we have a first front line with 6 Arminius,
Okay.
2 Sturgimer, and here we have just 1 Conrad with 4 HCRS. Yes, I like the aerial unit, and here 1 support battle ship here on this side.
The Schomburg.
The main objective is to target the fortress here and
just to shoot it down.
Yes, the admiral.
Well, sorry, to board it first, because if you destroy the Citadel before you rescue the Admiral, it's not gonna be good.
Oh no, so I don't think what is the best main objective today.
Little traitor here. Like, oh, go first, French, and then you shoot in the back. Okay, alright, I see. Now let's go for the Empire. For the first time, we have Zongo bringing his beautiful Japanese. What did you bring, Zongo?
So I'm starting with the big, I think it's called an Enchman carrier.
Yeah.
So excuse me if I'm not really an expert yet with these names, because I'm just starting this fleet. We also have 3 very powerful Yamaguchi heavy cruisers.
Yeah.
And 3 Okinawa recon cruisers with their attached SRS. I'm also bringing the special named battleship, the Oni, with his 2 special generators.
Yep.
6 vanilla frigates, I think they're called
Kyotos, yeah.
And last but not least, certainly my favorite in the fleet, the Exosub sub carrier. I don't know what they're called. Mizushi.
Those are that is a powerful fleet. Not many activations, but each of them is going to pack a lot of punch. And the Union, or more exactly the Task Force Mordred. So what do they bring? I put them into a nice looking formation, but I'm not sure it's very efficient. First we have, let's start with the big boy here, we have the Enterprise Heavy Carrier with 3 or 4 escorts, and only 3 because I need 1 more, and California attached to even boost the defense, and also attached is an Acron right here. No, this Acron is attached to the California and this one to the Enterprise. I love escorts, as you can know already. Here we have a Columbia, which has been a little bit customized by their Alliance friends in the Task Force Mordred, because he has a shroud in the back, which usually is something only the Alliance can do. He has attached an Acron, 4 escorts, and 4 Springfield frigates. I use the Farraguts because though I get more and more Springfields over time, I still don't have enough because I want to put them to every single one of my ships. First time ever, we have here the America Spec Ops vessel with attached escorts and Acron and Springfields, etc, etc. The interesting thing is that he can do some boarding action by sending some SRS tokens of helicopters, and he has both a shield and a shroud, and unlike what the rules usually say, he can use both at the same time. So it's not very tough, but with this it's going to be annoying to shoot at. Then we have some aerial units for the Union, like for the, technically in the list building, these are from the HEC mercenaries. And as you can see, there is a custodian here that gives a shield, like the equivalent of a shield generator in a bubble around himself, good. And 2 Ticonderogas with long-range firepower, extreme range, thanks to the Acron. And they also are good at boarding. Then we have the John Henry skimming robot. This little guy here is fast, is extremely fragile, but I hope he will get to hit something with his hammer before the game ends. And last but not least, probably some of my favorite models in the game, those beautiful Bogotas that look like the dragon dropship from Avatar. I have 5 of them with the torpedoes, and it's the first time I play them. I hope they will not die too soon. That is it for the fleets. We're going to play with cards. The French have Napoleon as a patron. I have Lincoln, so he has better boarding because he's all in on the boarding, and I will have a little bit more cards, but we both have deficits of points, which doesn't matter that much because for me, when I am in deficit of points, it triggers the special rules of the Honorable Eclipse Company. Let's get going. I will put this back, and let's go for the first turn. And we played the first activations without filming because they were like positioning and a little shooting. I will tell you what happened. Something to note is that we are trying to play as much as possible because we don't have that much time and some people were late. So we played 2 by 2. So they play at the same time, then 2 activation of the Empire, then 2 activation of the Union. The Alliance went here first, staying hidden because they are scheming. And then the Arminius went forward, sinking a Kyoto. As a retaliation, the Kyoto came here. They destroyed with their broadside 1 Arminius, tried boarding without much success. Yeah, I think they did 1 hull point, so still kind of success. Then shooting on the IS Maiden, doing a critical damage, which was shredded defenses. And then second activation was the Mizushi. They put a little SRS token like the Exosubs here and shot everything at the IS Maiden, doing another critical, which was Sturginium Flare. So a little bit of damage now on the Ice Maiden. Something to know, they tried to repair the critical damage to get their defenses back, and I countered with Fortunes of War from the Enterprise because I like when they kill each other. They really deployed very aggressively here, so I will be quite safe. I will try to rush in as fast as possible. My activation activated first the Cheyenne, sending torpedoes here doing nothing, and then I activated the Bogotas. Oh, one last thing, the Cheyenne boarded the pirates so they don't get where they want to be, doing 1 point of damage. And the Cheyenne, absolutely not the Cheyenne, the Bogotas, shot all their aerial torpedo salvos on the Okinawa, doing 1 point of damage. That is it for the first round of activation. Let's go back to the Alliance and the Imperium. And if nothing much happens, we will keep doing activations outside of line of sight, like without filming. Of course, when there is going to be big attack, big boarding, the Ice Maiden shooting, something like this, we will film it, of course. We actually did a couple more activations here. The French started to put more and more resources here. He's really going to try probably to turn 2 board here and beginning of turn 3 to leave the area. So we'll have to do something about it. Some Sigimers went here, did some damage on the Kyoto. For the Empire, the 3 Okinawas used the card to not make any drift and to stay away from all these shooting that come here. They did focus their firepower, but barely managed to destroy 1 of the Bogota that went down. Also, these torpedoes went on this citadel, and with especially the firepower of 3 Yamaguchis, which let me tell you, it was a lot. It was a double citadel by far. There is only 1 hull point left on the Windsor before it is crippled. And on my side, I activated the John Henry. It's Gatling destroying the damaged civilian, like pirate, easily. And then as well, I activated the Enterprise, and it sent its SLS token on the Furieux. I was thinking of the Japanese, but I'm really afraid that the French will succeed the mission too fast and the game will end too early. So I'm trying to slow him down here. Let's make the 3rd wave of activation for everyone. Okay, end of the last salvo of activations. We do try, like actually, there was never a big thing where we're like, okay, let's film. We do film a lot more with this speed because we don't film every dice roll, but it means we probably are gonna go until the end of the battle report, unlike what we usually do. Let us know in the comments if you would like, okay, I do want some dice rolls a bit more, even when it's not major activations, or is it fine for you to have this little resume like this? So, what happened? There were some activations from the Tirpitz and the Bloodsher. As you can see, they did quite some damage on the Kyoto. There is not much left. The Bloodsher killed 1 with the broadside. And then they shot on the Mizuchi because it was the only thing they had their angle for, and 1 of them is crippled with all the little attacks. Also, the French moved the Raton Laveur, and they also helped in destroying some Kyoto frigates. On the Japanese side, we had the Oni obliterating the Windsor, which has 2 hull points left in crippled, and the Hachiman brought some firepower on it as well, like torpedoes and 2 rockets, and the Hachiman sent on the Enterprise all its exosubs, which cannot be intercepted by the flag barrage of this guy. I do have quite some defenses with everything, but I still think there's going to be a lot of damage on the Enterprise. On my side, I first moved the Columbia forward with full steam ahead. It did get quite some speed. However, it did nothing on the Furieux. But then I moved to the America. Those little frigates were just in closing range for the Furieux that, as you can see, is going down. And I did something like 34 hits. So because it only has 7 hull points, the Furieux is indeed going down. That is it for now. We still have a few activations for turn 1. Let's see how it is going. Okay, we've had the last activations of turn 1. We are testing this fast recording mode. What happened? There have been some SRS token being sent by both the Ice Maiden and the Voliere and the Phoenix. Most of the bombers of the Ice Maiden and some support fighters went on the Oni. Then he sent his French fighters to try to intercept the 10 SRS sent by the Enterprise. I know it's not the exact same token, I forgot my flying SRS. And then the Ice Maiden went, shot all its artillery on the America, which with the shield and everything was 22 dices. They tried heavy firepower, but of course I cancelled. And it was still 2 points of damage and a critical, which was shields offline. So it's quite weakened now. I am a little bit afraid. My activation, because the Japanese were out of activations, I moved forward. I broke the island down on the way. I moved with the 2 Ticonderogas here. They sent a huge missile barrage, which is not very much a lot, on this Furieux, doing 1 point of damage. And then the Custodian tried to activate its heat lance, because it can transform its generator into heat lance. It was cancelled with Devils from the Raton Laveur. And then it shot its 2 flag broadside on the Windsor, doing nothing. It was 6 dices and 7 dices because of the 2 rocket. It's not a great flagship, going on the Furieux, doing another point of damage. That is going to be it. We don't have any flag broadside because I could have stayed here, but those token exosubs from the Hachiman cannot be intercepted by flag barrage. So what we're going to do, we're going to do all the air attacks. As you can see, there is 1 here, 1 there, and yeah, that's already going to be a lot. And we'll see at the end of turn 1 what happened and who has initiative. Okay, we are finishing the turn 1. It was really devastating air attacks. It took really a while. The Oni, in the end, with all the bombers and stuff, got a ton of damage. I think like 6 hull points lost. So he had 3 hull points before he gets crippled. This Furieux had a crazy interception roll with all the SRS token in defense. He destroyed 9 SRS out of 10, and in the end it did nothing. The Raton Laveur also had a very good interception because he counted explosives as double, and in the end he only lost 1 hull point, and with piercing you have a navigation lock, it's fine. And here I did also quite fine. I removed 2 SRS out of 6, and in the end I suffered 3 hull points in total on the Enterprise because I got an explosion which also damaged the California and the robot. That is it. I also repaired with some cards this guy here. Now we arrive at the end of the first turn, and before the maintenance step we have the pirates in the Windsor. We're going to shoot once on each target here. We decided, like the opposing teams, he will shoot on the Mizushi, trying to finish him off, on the Magenta, also trying to finish him off, and they decided for me to shoot on the robot because it's cool, if I quote. So let's roll. I will roll, for example, for the Mizushis here, 13 dices. He's obscured though. We will try to record some dice rolls still. Not great, he's obscured. 13 hits, no explosives, but because it is armor 5, it is really dead. It's even a critical. Let's see if he explodes. Do we have a magazine explosion? Nope. So now the bombardment on the giant robot, the John Henry, -2. Yeah, important. -2 because of the shield. 10, there is 1 hull point down. Last but not least, there is 2 hull points left on the Magenta, 13 dices, but he has a shroud, so he's obscured. So we need 14 to kill him. 13 hits, so it is only 1 hull point, but it is a critical, which is going to be...
Oh no!
No!
Oh no!
We could feel the sadness in Zongo. He has -2 speed, -2 Citadel. Okay, we are beginning turn 2, and I had the initiative. We actually both played at 60 points, the cards, so since he had the initiative last time, it went to me. What happened? First activation was the America. With its Springfields, it sent some some Talon assault gyros full of angry marines on the Furieux right here. I moved forward. There are 3 Springfields. Oh yeah, everybody had give them out. 3 small gun batteries on the Magenta shrouded, trying to kill him. Then I'm gonna shoot on the Phoenix, and there were some torpedo salvos that actually I shot on this guy. It made a critical damage, which was a magazine explosion. Yay! So he was severely damaged. So first, let's have a look. Those 3 Springfields are gonna try to finish off the last hull points of the Magenta. Was I greedy? Should have put more. He has a shroud, but I am devastating. So 6 hits. I was too greedy. That is my fault, and the Magenta still lives. Now this on the Phoenix. Let's hope it will be a better roll. He is not shrouded, he is shielded. So I will count the explosives. And 1 explosive, making another explosive. Okay, that should be better. Okay, something really fun has happened. I think it's the first time it happened. So the America, the USS Ruinbringer, who deserves his name today, shot on the Phoenix, and the Phoenix got a Sturginium flare. The Sturginium flare went into the range of the minefield, triggering it, and it's gonna be 30 dices, because it's the mass, times 10. So in the end, he's still floating, let's say, by then. He has 1 hull point left, navigationally locked, no shield, and a Sturginium flare, but he's still there. He can still activate and send its SRS, and probably evacuate whichever admiral is inside with the SRS. Before he eventually dies, because 1 hull point gonna be difficult. Okay, the French are really angry. First of all, you can see the tier pits came here, but he didn't shoot yet. Those guys arrived. This Furieux shot on the Custodian, doing a bit of damage. And the other 2 Furieux both shot at the Okinawas, which were almost intact, and they wiped them out, each of them, with each a double citadel. That's what full Eatlands configuration can do to you, even at closing. And now, what we have all been waiting for, the 3 Furieux and their Legionnaires inside their drop pods are going to go inside the Citadel, try to rescue the Admiral Salazar, get him back on the Furieux, and destroy the Citadel on the way by placing bombs around. So this will be a boarding. 12 plus 4 because of the French. For the French, they are sustained because they are Legionnaires. And, yeah, Hazardous, but I think it's gonna be that anyway. And they are elite crew because they are the units of Napoleon. So let's see how this roll goes. It's really important roll for the Alliance. Pas mal, pas mal. He can reroll the 2 blues and the blank. Okay, and 2 explosives. Let's see the defense roll of the Windsor, the crippled pirate. They're running away, they're not even trying to fight. These little guys, run away. The Citadel is destroyed by the Legionnaire. It collapses. It collapses, and the Admiral Salazar has been rescued by the French, and now they just need to run away with him. Now the tier pits, having destroyed with the broadside the last Okinawa, is shooting everything on the Ashiman. He already used the storm generator, so the tier pits is going to be obscured. But he what? I know, it's a storm generator, so now double hits will count as single hits against him. Good. But now he used 3 heavy volt gun batteries, heavy firepower, which I did not counter because I want to see that. It's going to be 24 dices on the Hachiman. He is looking to make quite some damage. 24 dices. He used the card to gain sustained. It's the card to reroll any dice, but we nerfed it into sustained. It was too strong otherwise, and that's a good reroll. So 5 explosives and 1 more dice because of Inductorium, but let's just never forget it. It's 1 dice, can be helpful. And another explosive here, making nothing more. So 3 whole points on the Hachiman and Citadel Breach. -2 speed and -2 to the Citadel, and he gets a point of disorder.
C'était incroyable comme moment, Philippe. Merci. Merci de savoir faire ça.
Ah oui, j'avoue.
Hop.
On va en faire un même. Hein.
Okay, we break out this action by saying that, guys, the Oni is such a beast. He arrived here shooting left and right. He teleported because of the interface generator. Then he moved a little bit. He shot with his heavy broadsides, its torpedoes, heavy gun batteries and everything. And now he's boarding the Tirpitz. And that's the roll he did. But he has a phrase 16 with elite crew, so that is something good. But the Tirpitz with everything has 29 dices because he has some escorts. Let's see if he can survive this, because this is really a battle of the titans. I don't think it will be enough. So he is at 16, so it's a carnage for now, but he has elite crew. As we can see, the critical damage, because it was a brutal result, so 1 hull point, 1 disorder, and 1 critical, and the critical was a Sturginium flare. So the Tirpitz surges forward, and there is a collision between the Tirpitz and the Oni, and because of this, they both take a disorder and they both go to the red. Second activation of the Japanese, those 3 Yamaguchis linked all their heavy gun batteries with focus gunnery on the central filio where there is Admiral Salazar, doing 6 whole points of damage. Is going down, and now we're going to roll 1 die. He's supposed to be automatically transferred to another of the filio, but if he makes a blank, the Admiral does not make the transfer in the chaos and he falls into the water. Let's see, is it gonna be a blank, Steve? Oh! He actually fell into the water right here with his little parachute. We will now make another roll. If he makes another blank, it's the pirates that grab him. Steve, is it gonna be a blank? No. Close, but no. So he's there, he's still up to be grabbed, but now it needs to be another force of the Alliance or something that grabs him. Let's see. The poor is floating in the waves. There is chaos around him. Let's see who is going to grab him. The boarding of the Yamaguchis did not go well at all. There actually was a counter boarding from the angry Prussians with elite crew from the Tirpitz. And I activated next. Rushing forward, it's not very safe, but that's what I have to do, because this way, this guy did a little boarding assault, sending its Minutemen gyrocopters to get the Admiral. So he's now aboard the Custodian. I'm quite happy that this ship that is very bad actually has a purpose this game, because it is tough. I also brought the 2 Ticonderogas, which destroyed the Magenta, and with the flag broadside. Actually, I think it was the Custodian that with the flag broadside finished off the Magenta, and the Ticonderogas did quite some damage to start to soften up the Valkyries. And then those guys sent a wave of gyrocopters with boarding Minutemen here, failing because he made a quite good defense roll. And fortunately, thanks to the Minutemen rule, I do not suffer counter boarding. So that is going to be it. And of course, spoiler, the 2 rocket batteries did nothing as always. I have the Admiral. Now we will see what the Imperium tries to do. I'm afraid they will try to befriend again with the Japanese, because I have the Admiral now, so I'm afraid the Alliance will shift. Alright, activations of the Imperium and the French. What happened? The Conrad did a torpedo salvo on this huge pack, doing nothing, and he sent its SRS tokens here on the Custodian, the USS Everwatcher, to try to get the Admiral back. And the brave, very brave Porthos, this Phoenix class flagship of the French, sent its last SRS here, probably with the Admiral as well, to try last attack on the Custodian. And they sent the ship forward, doing actually some damage with the E-Lancet. And then they tried some boarding on the Yamaguchi, failing, and it was a counter boarding. And the Porthos dies violently, as he should, according to the story, and he has been destroyed by the angry samurai in the counter boarding. It starts to be a huge mess here, but damn, it's cool. Activations of the Empire. The Kyotos moved here, and between the Kyotos and some torpedoes after the Mizushi, they did manage to cripple this Blotcher. They also sent their exosubs on the Tirpitz, trying to avenge all the fallen Japanese soldiers before. Next, 2 activations of the Union. My Columbia class, the USS Oathbearer, moved here and with its 2 heavy gun batteries actually did 2 hull points and a critical on the Voliere because I declared give them L, as you can see from the yellow token of disorder. And now the French is activating his Voliere because he's quite close to being crippled. Also something to note, my Enterprise is here. I did manage at the end to remove the navigation lock just in time because I really need to make a full reverse, otherwise I will hit the island. I declared heavy firepower, and with the 3 rockets I actually did a very good roll, and I destroyed one of the Furieux that was right here. Now activations of the Prussians, as you can see, they are charging forward with the armies. They are still looking to get the Admiral out of here, and the Voliere added 2 SRS tokens to their air assault on the Custodian. There's going to be one massive air battle that's going to happen here. And he's charging and doing some shooting. Activations of the Imperium and the Alliance. They moved with the Voliere and they actually tried to make torpedoes on the Cheyenne, but it was not a good roll and he cancelled, saving himself thanks to his SDV. Sorry. The Arminius moved forward, killing a Kyoto, repairing their damage left and right, and just being a good nuisance and putting themselves in position to grab the Admiral next turn if he dies in the air assault. Last activations of the Empire and the Hachiman especially, he sent all its SRS tokens, so even more exosubs on the Tirpitz trying to sink it down. The Alliance and the Imperium, who had indeed more resources, are kind of dominating the center. Especially with this huge threat. They still have their fresh Tirpitz, the Ice Maiden almost intact, the Raton Laveur charging now, and yeah, that starts to be a lot. And those units are not so good, neither are they very tough. So we'll see how it goes. So the Hachiman did that, doing a couple points of damage left and right, and I had this unkillable Cheyenne. The tactical cavitation is now obscured now even against torpedoes, and he did a point of damage on the Conrad. And the 4 Bogotas moved in forward and they shot everything on the back of the Furieux. I think he got crippled from this attack. And he got a Sturgeon flare as well. And the rockets, aerial rocket torpedoes, barely managed to do a point of damage on the Arminius. Yeah, the aerial torpedo pods are really not that amazing. Now the Raton Laveur are charging forward, and that's gonna hurt. Okay guys, the activation of the French. The Raton Laveur sent all their torpedoes on the America, but thanks to fairly good defense roll and a good attack roll, it did not suffer even a single point of damage. But you can see all the escorts being around, that is why. And now he's shooting everything. So 3 heavy gun batteries with focused gunnery on the Custodian. He does not get +2 dice from focused gunnery because I gave him -2 from Sentinel generator, but still it's gonna be 17 dices from the 3 heavy gun batteries, rerolling blanks. Will the Admiral be saved? Rerolling blanks. Blank, and I see 3 explosives. 3 explosives, making another explosive. Making another explosive. I'm afraid it might be a double citadel. 3 hull points and oh merde! Sturgeon flare. Mass 3 is gonna be way too close to the enemy lines for comfort. Okay, we are finishing turn 2. There is a lot of points, but we are managing through by going fast. The Ice Maiden activated, and damn, that is going to be difficult because all of the bombers and fighters are going to do a lot of damage on my America. And the 3 bombards went on the Columbia, on which he put a little token to reroll blanks. I still had Shroud, and it did 3 points of damage plus a Sturgeon flare, so 4, which it was fine because I'm getting closer. As well, I'm not sure if I explained the Raton Laveur, but the Raton Laveur did quite a bit of damage on the Custodian, and the rear gun did a point of damage on the Oni. Talking about the Oni, he also received a little broadside from those 2 Sigimers, as well as a Virling autocannon from the Ice Maiden, and he only has 1 hull point before he is crippled. Same as the Custodian by now, he only has 1 hull point before he will be crippled because of a 2 damage and a critical roll from the 2 Sigimers and all their Volt gun cannons. So there is this huge melee in the center. We are getting wiped out here. We'll resolve all the SRS tokens. There is going to be quite a ton here. We'll see how it happens. Okay, guys, as you can see, I have a ton of dices. One of them is down. It's okay, I'll put another. What happened? I used flag barrage, first of all. One of them removed one Blitz and Bomber from the America, and the other two removed 2 dices from the Custodian. 15 dices too. You had to use a card, that was fine. Now, I have a lot of defenses. I have my 10 SRS token, 30, plus 6 plus 1 from the escort Akron on the Custodian, and all the aerial units around are HEC, which means that since I started turn 2 with less victory points, each of them have AP escort for a +2. So that is 47 dices of interception, and I played a card so explosives count as double counters. I think this is the largest defense roll that we've seen on the channel yet. Let's see if we can save the Admiral. Putain, ça m'a pas l'air mal. Alright, this was a good interception roll. In the end, 41 defenses, which means I removed 13 SRS tokens. There is none of them left. The Custodian is still here. He's gonna try to run away with the Admiral. I put all my resources on this. Let's make the other interception rolls and see what happens, especially on the Tirpitz. Okay, we're actually gonna film that as well, because after ADV of Tirpitz and its escorts removed 1 token of Exosub, it's gonna be 55 dices, and it chose to give piercing. 8 explosives, making another 2 explosives, making another explosive.
Okay,
After all these attacks, the Tirpitz has only 1 hull points left in crippled. What do we have here? The America removed 3 SRS tokens with its interception roll, and that is going to be it for now. Though with everything, it's like 6 SRS tokens and 4 bombers. It's going to be 47, I think.
Yeah, 47 dice.
So it's probably going to be the last action, because we will not have time to make a full turn 3.
But we make 2 turns.
Yeah,
completely.
2 full turns. Yes.
Yeah.
And let's have a roll to see what happens. 47 dices. They're also devastating and rerolling blanks, of course. They're good. They're rerolling blanks. 11 explosives, making another 2 explosives, making another explosive. Oh my god, stop him! Stop him! Ah! He might be dead. Well, all in all, he did 71 hits. We have 1 happy Valentin. Are you happy, Valentin?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like your Ice Maiden?
Yeah, I enjoy this moment.
He's dead outright before before even the catastrophic explosions and everything. Explosive. Ah, but there is a. Is it piercing?
Yeah.
No, oui.
Yes, yeah, we saw.
Piercing. You roll it again to see if there is an explosion, because we're gonna stop at the end of turn 2. No explosion. But the America was sunk outright. I tried to give him a whole point back, thinking it would change something. I was a bit mistaken. Okay, we finished at turn 2. And there is something quite interesting. As you can see, it's a little bit like a Mexican standoff with the Japanese, the Union, and the Alliance. And it was more going the Alliance's way for the victory, the military victory. However, the Admiral is still in custody of the Custodian. And there were some threats of like, yeah, well, we're not giving the Admiral back to you, so we will execute him. And what will happen is that the battle will actually finish at turn 2, because some negotiations, like a ceasefire happened, like, stop shooting at us or we kill the Admiral. And what happened is like the 4 factions, if you count the Imperium, will make a little meeting on this island in neutral ground, and an accord was found. Since the Task Force Mordred already has some ties with the Alliance, because there are some Alliance ships as well in these mercenary faction, they will actually keep the Admiral Salazar alive, and he will start to lead the Task Force Mordred, which was looking for an experienced admiral with the death of the Crown Admiral in its Avalon. So Salazar will lead now the latest alliance force of the Alliance, like the latest French force of the Alliance, and the Task Force Mordred will be allied to these little French here for now. So that is quite good. The Imperium gets the right to run away. All right. The Task Force Mordred will establish a fortress here. Now the pirates are dead, they will take back this base and it will be their main piece of operation later on. And for the Japanese, they don't have so much resource to take the entire archipelago. So they negotiated a ceasefire, and this area, like this base, will be the furthest of the empire. So we count all the territory further as empire territory. And it means that this will be a kind of like neutral zone of the Task Force Mordred. There will not be active conflicts in this little area of the world anymore. And yeah, it will serve as a buffer area, so the factions don't fight each other. So that is going to be the conclusion for the season 2 of Dystopian Wars campaign. And we will see what will happen for the story-wise for the 3rd season. But for now, there is a new status quo at the end of this season. Salazar is now somehow leading the Task Force Mordred, and we will see how we go. For the next game, we will start to record it next year, 2024. Because yeah, we record this in December 2023. You probably see it already next year. All right, thank you very much for having watched this. Let's go now for the debriefing and what we thought of the game. All right, we hope you like this game. It was quite the battle. I really did not expect this outcome to be like in a hostage negotiation and in the end you'd be like, yeah, why don't we make a neutral area and we stop fighting each other? Quite interesting, I didn't expect that, but that's the cool thing when you play narrative games. We'll see what we each thought of the game, of our list, of the scenario and everything. What did you think, Zongo, with your Empire? First time playing Empire.
Yeah. Well, first my list was kind of funky with just a lot of models. I brought a lot of models mostly because I like them and I didn't have much strategy on the table. Probably it was a bit weird that most of your resources were on my side of the table, so I had to deal with a huge army.
Yeah, they had a big deployment area and they were like all on him.
I was supposed to be the hunter, but I wasn't, so that's a bit weird, but overall it played well. I really like the overall graphical effect of the game with a really beautiful table.
Yeah, it was very cinematic.
Yeah, very cinematic with beautifully painted models. And it really looked well. And for the game, well, we had a lot of
it was very fun. Very fun.
A lot of discussion between us, alliance, counter-alliance, very interesting.
Yeah, lots of betrayal and shooting and stuff. And you, Valentin, what did you think?
I like this party for my. I think it is the best conclusion with the next previous battle. But yes, very interesting. For the first time, the Imperium lost just one ship. That's the first time. Okay, good point. At the end,
they were tough.
Yeah. Yes. My student have just lost 4 points of life. Good point. I like everything, but at the end, a lot of officers in one ship, and it will be wiped out totally. There is enough. No more.
I had all the defense I could buy, but not enough.
Yeah, and thanks to Philippe, I have a very interesting list with a lot of defense, and I prefer that kind of battleship because it's very interesting. I have good. Defense and attack. It's very interesting to play with Imperium. I think it's a good faction to have a lot of firepower, but you can add some battleship or just some escort, and you have a good interest, good list with defense. It's very interesting, and I play a lot of party with Imperium, and for myself, it's my favorite faction in the Dystopian, but very, very interesting. A lot of discussion and a good complete. My list will work with the Alliance. Very interesting. A lot of Alliance units from Steve, but for myself, from my side, just a lot of shit, but very interesting, and I like it. Just a long live to the Empire.
I did make the list. You might see it was a bit more competitive than usual. One thing, he played the tier pits, and I said in the How to Start Imperium that tier pit and Kaiser, I probably prefer the Kaiser because you can put shield and shroud, ablative armor at the same time. But actually, the tier pits, I didn't realize how fast it can be with the teleportation. I was like, it's a funky tool, it can be fun, but is it worth losing Fortunes of War, which is painful, and not combining with the shield? But no, it's so fast. Like the big problem of the tier pits and the Kaiser is that they're kind of slow. But with this, the mobility gain It was fine on the low key. I tried on the low key and gaining a bit of mobility is fine. Same with the Sultanate, they gain it with Mirage. You're like, yeah, it's fine. Like but you're already very agile. But on a battleship like this that is very slow, it changes completely how it plays. So really good. I take back what I said. Tier piece is worth it.
Yeah, and during the party, he tracks the level of a lot of ship. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
yeah,
really tough.
yeah, it's good for distraction. And you, Steve, what did you think?
I think free Furieux is the way.
This is the way.
Because I don't play this ship in unit. Habitually, it's more in escorting.
Yeah, attached.
For me, an attached model, but never a unit. But now I see this different.
He saw the light.
He met gods. He met gods today.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, it's really good.
They are charging.
Charging.
They are very fast, very lethal at shooting, very little at boarding as well.
And a very good action. You go to the Citadel, rescue
this
the admiral,
was
and
the
destroy it. Very,
rescuing the admiral like
cinematic.
this was one of the coolest action of the entire campaign. It was so cinematic.
And after a lot of battle, to just the
and
fate
got
is
it.
for us. Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
We got it because he made a blank and it was 2+, and no, the admiral falls down.
Bad luck
Yeah.
today.
For the Union, quite fun. I knew some of the ships. As always, the Columbia is really tough, but this is why we love it. Enterprise is for sure really good, 350 points for all the SRS and for Fortunes of War, buy it for sure. America is good, but as we saw it is fragile. I do like it and I want to like it, but yeah, it is very vulnerable to SRS. We told already in the review that this was the main weak point, and it is for sure. Even with all the escorts, it can be one shot. Well, one shot is from the Ice Maiden, but yeah, it can happen. You are very vulnerable to the SRS. One thing that I knew were not going to be good, and they were terrible, absolutely, is the Union Flyers, the new ones from the Fortune and Glory. They're really bad. I don't know how to play them. They are very costly. They do have flag barrage, which is fine. You can remove 1 or 2 SRS tokens, but still anybody can shoot them down extremely easily. They're very fragile, have few hull points, and the big difference with other flyers, like the Russian flyers, are very good. The Saransky is insane, Tunguska as well, they're very good. Even the Imperium aerials, they are fast, they are lethal, etc. They are very mobile and they do a lot of things. Those guys do nothing. They are fragile, they don't shoot good at all, and they can, one of them with the Sentinel is fine, but is it worth paying what you pay? I'm not sure at all. Still, they look quite good on the table. What I really like the appearance of is the giant robot, the John Henry. Extremely fragile again. But if you can put in a strategic reserve, it's going to be cool coming out from the reserve and using your big hammer, of course. But I'm not sure I would play it. It's way too expensive for what it does. And the Bogotas, again, we see a pattern. They don't do much as a damage, except when you are at point blank. But since they have armor 4 Citadel hull points 2, it means 8 hits they die. Is it worth paying 40 points? Since you cannot hide? I'm not sure, especially since it's not crazy. Let's remember that it is less fast, it costs more than a Munich, it is more fragile. Is it worth it?
Maybe it's not the easiest model to be compared to.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, but still, I love the Bogota models, amazing. All the Union models look quite good, and I think it's just a point cost issue. They will get cheaper at some point in the future, and then they're going to be at least worth thinking about when you compare it with the rest of the Union, which is still a very good faction. All the surface units are very good. You've seen Give Them Hell, still as good a rule as ever. Okay, that is going to be it for today. As always, give us a thumbs up, it really helps. And if you also type a comment, as you remember now, you can win a Crown battle fleet or an Alliance battle fleet, or like multiple battle fleets. Actually, it's an armada for each of those.
And don't hesitate to subscribe and share the video.
Yeah, I never say that. Thank you, Valentin. Subscribe so you will see all of our videos, and you can share with your friends if you want to initiate them to Dystopian Wars. I should say that more often. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, and until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye.
Bye. And Happy New Year's.